folks, so today we're back with a Danielle McAllister video. I actually really enjoy reacting and discussing her videos because I know she can kind of be controversial for some of you guys, but she is what I am going to consider unapologetically fat. Do I always agree with her? Absolutely not. But I think that's like the beauty of reactions and just the world and free speech and being able to do these videos is you get to see different people's points on the same issue. But like, so this video is her why I'm not actively trying to lose weight. This is an older video, but so her opinion could have changed. Because your opinion can change from one day to the next, let alone a month, a year, however long, and she's allowed to change her opinion. So maybe when she made this video, she was saying, I don't want to get active, I don't want to be healthy, we're going to see in this video, but she is more than welcome to also change her opinion on that. So I welcome it, and we're going to discuss why at that time she was choosing to not be healthy or to not try and lose weight. Again, she is probably the most blunt, open that I can see. Again, I haven't consumed all of her videos. Most of the videos I've seen, I've done reactions to here, so I could be missing something, but like, she seems to kind of just throw her middle finger up and say, I'm fat, get over it. And she's not the first to do this. She's not the biggest to do this. She's not the most well-known on YouTube to do this. I mean, we have people like Tess Holiday, we have people like Glitter and Lasers, all of those type of people also do it. This might be a very unpopular opinion, or it might be a popular opinion. I don't know, I've seen it go both ways. But for especially like the two ladies I just mentioned, I feel like sometimes they are not brutally honest about being fat, and maybe I'm not always the most brutally honest about being fat too, but I feel like Danielle, she has got the knack of just saying like, it is what it is and deal with it. And when I say like not the most honest, I think especially for those other ladies, like they did a lot of clothing haul and they're more like in the fashion world, which Danielle also focuses on. But like Danielle, when she's done stuff, I think she's true to her size. I think she is blunt and honest with her size and the clothing she gets, whereas especially with Glitter and Lasers or maybe like Tess, I feel like they're trying to sometimes tell you they're a size that they're not. Again, I don't know these people in person, but it's just like, as someone who is as fat and obese as I have been, up down on my weight, at times I always would like look at certain people who would be putting out these videos like them that were really popular, and I'd be like, how are they fitting their bodies into something like that like it just isn't possible for me? And like, I know sometimes I think I would always just be like, well, it's because you're 6 foot and like you know there's all these reasons that your fat body's different, everyone's shaped differently. But at the same time, I just didn't feel like they were always being as upfront about how fat they truly are. I think they were always holding back. We don't get that with Danielle, in my opinion. I'm not saying she's always happy-go-lucky. Sometimes she's just brutally honest. But I think at least she is just like, this is like, it is what it is. And here you have it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. We're going to get into right now her saying, I'm not going to actively try and lose weight, and I'm not going to get healthy, and here's why. So let's see what she has to say about that.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle, just in case you didn't know. Now you do know. And this week's video, today's video, is going to be on a subject that I asked a lot of questions about, and so it's why I'm not actively trying to lose weight. After my What I Eat in a Day video, which has close to 200,000 views for some reason, people are really fascinated.
I'll have to go watch that. I don't think I've watched any of her What I Eat in a Day.
I get asked a lot why I'm not actually trying to lose weight, why I am okay with being fat. So I'm just going to give you my current list of reasons. I'm sure that someone will just say they're all excuses, and you can look at it like that. However, this is my reasoning, and if you don't like it, don't stick around to watch. Alright, let's get into it. So I'm no stranger to dieting and trying to lose weight. I have been on a diet until, recently, probably since I was 12, because I was a chunky kid. And so I was put on a diet.
This doesn't necessarily relate so much with her, but like I, as someone who, I mean, I had like a period where like it was a little bit better, like when I was like in college and stuff, but I mean, I was heavy as a kid and I'm heavy as an adult. So I do often like wonder, like people who have never struggled with food, I'm always kind of like, what consumes their minds? I'm sure that like, obviously you replace one problem with another problem, but like for people, like what she's saying is like when we've been dieting our entire lives, it consumes you and it consumes your mind 24/7. It consumes years, days, hours, weeks. So it's just kind of like, it's always a question to me of like, what would I be consumed by if it wasn't my weight and my food? And for me, it's kind of like, I hate to say it, but it's kind of hard to say like, well, when I was at a healthier weight, like, because let's be honest, boys consumed my mind then, and all the drama that went with being in your young, late teens, early 20s, like that's what consumed my mind, was just being drama, and like boys and like school and all that stuff. So I know you just replace it with one thing to another, but it's crazy to think that like a lot of us have been in this mindset for years, and sometimes people their entire lives of every day that's what you're focused on, whether it's because you're losing or you're not losing, or you're insecure or you're not eating well or you're eating well. It is just like, wow, what am I going to be consumed with when I do beat this thing?
Pretty young, and I was told that I, probably wouldn't, get very far in life because I was fat. And to be honest, for, 15 plus years, every time I've eaten something and someone said, oh, are you allowed to eat that on your diet? Or you can't eat that, you're on a diet. That has made me super touchy about food. It's also made me get very angry when someone tells me I can't eat something. It's more of a mentality of I'll show you and eat whatever the heck I want. And in fact,
I wonder if she like has, again, she's allowed to do what she wants, this is her life, but I wonder if she has been a person who like is always telling people like, oh, I'm on another diet, or I'm dieting, or I can't eat that. Because like I've literally never had anyone in my life, again, maybe I've just been lucky or not surrounded by the same type of people, but I've never had someone be like, is that allowed on your diet? Unless like you openly are like, oh, I'm dieting, I can't have sugar, and then you're eating a lot of sugar, and they're like, is that allowed on your diet? But just like a random just like eating, no one's ever been like, is that allowed on your diet today? And I feel like that would be a really big like jerk move if someone did say that just like out of the blue, like she's not telling them, and then it would make me mad too, is what I'm trying to say. Like I completely get where you'd become jaded and pissy if people were like, should you be eating that? When you're like, listen, I never told you about my diet, don't assume what I am supposed to be and not be eating right now. But it also does make me wonder if she's one of those people who is like always telling people like, oh, I'm on this diet or I'm on that diet. Like I feel like everyone has those people. This is one great reason why I'm glad I'm not on like Facebook or any social media much anymore, is we all have those people. There's this girl I grew up with, went to school with my entire life. Like every week she's on this like miraculous new diet. One week it's tea, the next week it's coffees, and then it's keto, and then it, every 2 weeks, and then like she's always losing 20, 30, 40 pounds, although she still looks the same. I'm not saying she doesn't actually fluctuate her weight while she's doing them, but then she goes silent, and then she comes back out 2-3 weeks later and she has this big new diet that's going to be like the one to change her life. And so I'm kind of with like Danielle, like buzz out if you weren't invited in, but I don't know that she was. Maybe she was inviting people in. I also, because of watching people like that, and because I know like I've fallen off of my own wagon millions of times, I'm not really big, well, I don't really do social media anymore, period, but I was never really into like posting pictures or like posting like, oh my gosh, I lost 20 pounds in the last like 3 weeks, because it's like people will notice when they notice. If you get to a big milestone, or if you're a person that it encourages you to post all the time, like go for it, whatever. But like for me, it's very flooding of like, if you're on a new diet every week, people, it's kind of like crying wolf. Like every week you're on a new fad diet and then no one ever sees the changes. It's kind of like, well, it's hard for people to keep encouraging you because you're being very round and round and round right now.
Really sick when I was dieting. I did one of those like medical diets where you had to go in, give a urine sample every week. They tested to see if you were burning fat, and they would take away your fruit. You weren't allowed to have oil in your skincare because apparently the fat could be absorbed through your skin, which oils are really good for your skin. You couldn't have more than a tablespoon of milk. I was a 16-year-old teenager when I was doing this diet, and one day I decided, you know what, I just really want some chicken nuggets.
That's crazy.
So I ate some chicken nuggets, and I had a gallbladder attack, and it was so bad that I almost got in a car accident. So that just tells you like how bad it was. That's one of my main reasons. I'm also very content with where my life is right now. I don't feel like anything is missing from my life. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything because of my weight. And if I did, I would do something about it. I would make that drastic change. However, I really am not missing out at the weight I am currently.
I hope she's being completely, brutally honest about that. Because if she honestly is like, I'm living my life to the fullest and like nothing's holding me back, like that's awesome. That's great. But there's also still just like, my weight hasn't necessarily ever stopped. I mean, like, I guess I've had like flare-ups due to my weight, like if your back is out, or you know, like you never know like if an injury is going to put you down longer because of your weight. But like for the most part, like if I want to travel, I've always traveled, even if I've had to make like special accommodations. I guess like I have never, like amusement parks maybe I've missed out on, but I also don't know that amusement parks would really be something in my life because like the crowds are kind of anti my introvert. But I mean, if she's true to herself here, that like she literally is like, I'm not missing out on anything. I don't feel like I'm missing out on friends or activities or doing this or doing that. That's great. But I always think of it as like, yeah, I pretty much do everything I want to do, but like when I am at a healthier weight, I'm not going to have to accommodate that to do these things. Like I'm not going to have to worry, like, do I need 2 seats when I fly? Do I need to jump up to first class? Again, I hate using this comparison all the time, but like on Anna, I think her name is, from Glitter and Lasers, like she lives her life from like what we can see. Like she flies countries and like she seems to do, like if she wants to do something, she seems to do it. But if you take someone like that, and I'm going to use her as an example because more people know her than like my life, but if you take something like that, just think about like, yeah, that's great that you get to go do your life, but like you can still do more if you're healthier, because you can go further if you're like out in the heat, or like I just mentioned, when you're flying, you don't have to make accommodations for it. So, and some people might be like, well, we shouldn't have to accommodate our fat bodies, but like we have to. So like, instead of trying to change the system, which systems are really hard to change, and there's more important things we should be focusing on, the system's changing, that people can't change versus our weight. I'm kind of just like, I want to be able to go the extra mile because my health is there, and like, you know, I can do things more. Plus you just live longer. So that means you get to like do the things you love to do longer.
I also have a lot of other things going on in my life. Changing your lifestyle to the point where you're losing dramatic amounts of weight and completely changing your eating and exercising habits takes a lot of work, and that's a lot of time to put in that I just don't have at the moment. I practically work 2 full-time jobs right now, with my 9-to-5 job and then my side hustle, which I spend a lot of time on. And I
get what she means by like, okay, exercise, and I know that like maybe this is just me making an excuse, but I completely understand. Like I just work 1 full-time job, so sometimes I can be out of the home, like, you know, when I'm out of the home, because we haven't been out of our homes much. But when I work out of the home, you can be out of the home, what, easily 9 to 12 hours a day, and then sometimes you just come home and you want to just like make dinner or veg out. Like you don't want to go work out. I'm not a morning person. I'm not a morning person, but like the fact that we usually stay up till like 1 o'clock a.m. usually, means that I do sleep until my alarm goes off at 7. Like, I'm not a person that wakes up at 5 to go on the treadmill or anything. Once in a blue moon, I think I'm going to train myself, and I haven't yet. But so anyways, when you have to come home and like do your workout, sometimes you just don't want to. So I understand what she means. Like, we don't have the luxury of just being like, I'm just gonna work out 8 hours every day. But I feel like you can fit healthier food choices, which we know is like the bulk of weight loss, into any lifestyle.
Have the extra time or brain power really to put in to counting calories or, you know, specifically shopping for groceries and things like that. I just don't have it.
But don't you already have
I would
to
like
shop
to go to Aquafit more. It's just, there's nowhere close to my house that offers an Aquafit at a time that fits with my work schedule. So it makes it really difficult to work out the way I feel most comfortable. I've told you guys this before, I am a super picky eater. To the point that if I'm forced to eat something I don't like, for whatever reason, I will gag. I cannot swallow something that has a strange texture to me. If it smells weird, I can't swallow
That's
it.
a big
I
thing.
will throw it back up. And it makes eating healthy quite difficult. I have a serious issue with a lot of cooked food textures, as well as other things like broccoli. I can't eat broccoli in any way, shape, or form because of the smell. Same with cauliflower and a lot of other vegetables. As well, if the food is too boring or I can't dip it in.
Okay, so I'm gonna split these up. One, the texture thing is very real. A lot of people have that. Cannot stand weird textures. I don't know if there's like a therapy. I'm assuming that there's kind of like an exposure therapy that you can possibly learn those, but that's kind of a lot, I think, when there's so many alternatives that you can kind of work around. But I get the texture thing. I can't do yogurts. I can't do yogurts in the morning. So I completely understand that. Later in the day, I'm fine-ish with like a Greek yogurt, but overall, like, I can't do yogurt. I'm quickly learning. I could never figure out why I didn't love like zucchini and squash. I think it's because I don't like it when it's really mushy, which I'm quickly learning this week. So I like it when it's like grilled or roasted and it's still a little bit hard, but I'm realizing like when it is like more of like a steamed, or, which I don't know why you'd steam those anyways, but it's when it's just like a steamed or a baked to where it's like not a little, I'm just realizing that's not my thing. And I think it's the texture. I don't think it's necessarily the taste. I think it's just like it gets a little mushy and I'm just kind of like, I'm not feeling this. So texture is very real deal, and I'm not like, I don't specialize in that, so I don't know like if it's easy to do like an exposure therapy, if that's even something that like people really do to get used to it. Things being bland, I don't know that that's really like much of an excuse. It feels like that's just kind of like a, let's find healthy alternatives. And I think she's going into talking about dipping things, and we see this a lot with Chantel and with, I mean, I guess mukbangers across the board, but like it's hard for me to like distinguish if mukbangers across the board dip everything, because of that's just part of like the community of like what you're supposed to do when you do a mukbang, or if it's like this fat girl thing. And I'm calling it a fat girl thing because I can tell you whenever I'm eating at my unhealthiest, things are getting dipped in ranch, things are getting dipped in sauces, things are like, my pizza's getting dipped in like extra marinara, or you're dipping it in like the garlic butter or whatever you're gonna dip it in. But it's so many extra calories, and it kind of does make me wonder what it is about. I don't know if it's just because you're just saying like F it, like I might as well get like all this extra flavor on here. I don't know if it's because they often have high sugar in them that makes them more like, that makes us crave them more. I don't know what it is, but I can tell you that it's really weird of like when I'm eating unhealthy, I do have the urge to be like, I want to dip everything. I want like sauce on everything. And then when I'm eating healthier, like it doesn't even cross my mind to be like, oh, I should dip this in something. It's really weird. Maybe it is a sugar thing. Like maybe it is just like, I don't know. There's got to be something to like why it, I don't know. I get that like those sauces are good, but like I don't understand why I always felt the need to dip things now that like I've gone so long without really Like, I don't eat ranch with anything anymore, and like, it's fine.
I likely am going to become really bored and just stop eating it altogether and go and find something else that I find more interesting. Now, I do know that I should eat better than I do, and I have seen dietitians, and I know exactly what I should be eating in order to lose weight or have a better, more balanced diet. However, I find those foods really boring and not interesting to eat, so I don't eat them. And
I get that in the sense too, like, I don't know. I've been eating salads for lunch lately. I hate making salads at home. I always find them really boring no matter what I put in them. I feel like they don't taste as good. Like, I would take an Olive Garden salad any day of the week, which Olive Garden salads don't even have that much stuff in them. So I don't know why I feel like they taste so much better. So I get feeling like things are more boring when you make them yourself. But, and like, I don't mean this as a complete like drag or anything, but like, she seems like she just never aged out of that, like, I like macaroni and cheese, chicken nuggets, and hot dogs thing, which we all did as kids. We all do probably as adults if we could get away with it. She just kind of seems like one of those type people that's just kind of like, well, I like what I like, and we're going to keep liking what I like. But again, I could be completely wrong. She could be into like going out and having really fancy, tasteful, gourmet meals, because I don't know her diet. I'm gonna have to go watch some of her What I Eat in a Days to really get a hold of it. But from this video, I'm completely just guessing, projecting maybe, I don't know, but it just seems like she's the type that just is like, never grew out of that, like, I want macaroni and cheese, I want chicken nuggets, like, I want all the like good stuff that just like gives me that high really quick.
if I'm so bored by a salad that I'm going to only eat half of it and then go to get a hamburger instead, I mean, what's the point? I also have this sort of like inner rebel that basically says that I don't have to do what other people are telling me I should be doing as a real adult or a real person. Society says that I should be thin, and my inner heart is basically saying, you don't have to be thin, you don't have to, go with the flow of society, you can do whatever you want. And
so this is that unapologetically fat Danielle that I was talking about, and that's fine. Like, I don't want to say that's great, but that's fine. I mean, if you don't want to feel like, I don't want to let society pressure me into this, that's okay. Like, society shouldn't pressure you into this. Society should not make Danielle feel like crap if she is that size. Society should not necessarily constantly be telling Danielle she needs to lose a weight. But again, this comes down to like your health and living a longer life. We say it all the time. We see it all the time. There's a reason that you don't see a lot of morbidly obese people our size at older ages, so we need to take that in account. But also, I hope she's not just saying, like, I'm refusing to lose weight because I don't want society to win, because that's a really not a good reason to not lose weight and be healthy either. And I think sometimes like health at every size starts to, I know that's not their like goal of why it started or anything, but I think that's sometimes like what some people inch towards is like, they're almost just saying like, I'm willing to sacrifice getting in a healthier body just to prove to you guys that like, I don't have to be thin to live my life, and you don't have to be thin to live your life, but to live a longer life and a healthier life and feel better when you're older, you probably do need to get healthier. And I don't know how Danielle was then. I don't know how old she is now. But I mean, I think I kind of felt the same way when I was in my late 20s. Like, yeah, I always wanted to lose weight, but at the same time, I was just kind of like, screw it. Like, you come into yourself and you start to really feel that whole like, okay, screw you, society. Like, I'm happy, I have my friends, I have my job, like, I don't really need to lose weight, everything's going great. And now that I'm like 30 and above, I'm like, okay, my body's already starting to hurt, so let's wrap this up real quick and get healthier.
I'm not hurting anyone except myself if I were to be affecting my health, which at this moment in time, I am not. But if it did come to that point where it was affecting my health, then I would do something about it. It's just not, and I don't care that much right now. Fast food and eating poorly is really the only thing in my life that I do that is sort of off, I guess. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I don't hook up with people. That one doesn't really count because, you know what, to be honest, you can do what you want.
Yeah.
But I don't take in any other vices that could be harmful to my health. And so this is pretty much the only vice I have that is fast food and probably reading naughty books. So
I used to feel that same way as well. And I'm not saying that I don't still feel that way a little bit, because I did always think that, like, oh, well, you know, I don't really drink, I don't smoke, I don't, I guess those are the major ones, I don't take hard drugs. So I always was just like, you know, they have their vices, I have my vice. But now I'm kind of just more like, thank goodness I didn't drink on top of it. Thank goodness I wasn't doing hard drugs on top of it, because it's like, you know, I'm sure it's been probably 2 years since I had like a scan of my liver, because I had a scan of my liver when I had a scan before, like, they took my spleen out. But anyways, like, before the dead spleen, I had, and like, my liver was already a little fatty. So could you imagine if I doubled it up on also being like, hey, let's throw some alcohol in it too. So now I'm more just like, thank goodness I didn't do that. So I only need to correct the fat I put in my body instead of that, and give up something harder that I was also killing my organs from the inside on.
we're doing pretty good there. My final reason really for not actively trying to lose weight right now at this moment in time is I truly, deep down in my heart, believe that I will not be any happier than I am right at this moment if I were to lose weight. If I were to lose 50 pounds tomorrow, or gradually lose 100 over the next year. I don't really believe that I would be happier at a smaller size or a lower weight than I am right now. I love my life the way it is. Yes, I'm actively trying to make changes in it. However, that's the part I love. I'm living my life, I'm getting things done, I'm growing my business, I'm spending time with my family, I'm working towards my goals, and those are all things that everybody else does. Just because I weigh a larger amount than most of the population does not mean that I'm a lesser human being and that I can only be accepted at a size 12 or less. So those are my reasons for not actively trying to lose weight at this present moment in time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you coming back time and time again. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. As well, share it with your friends. I'm sure there are people out there who would feel similarly to me. If you are actively not trying to lose weight, or maybe you are trying to lose weight, put your reasons in the comments below. We're here for you, and we can all cheer each other on together. I'm not saying that you should go out there and be super unhealthy and just gain a ton of weight. That's probably not good for you. However, if you're good just the way you are right now, that's cool. You do you. And I guess I will see you guys next time. Don't forget, all the links for everything me is in the description as always. And I will see you guys soon. Bye!
Okay, so there you have it. She, again, was pretty unapologetic, which is fine. Like, it's really, I wonder if her opinion is the same. So when she said, like, she doesn't think that her life would be any different, I wonder if she still feels that way. Do I think my life would be drastically different outside of being able to do more activities? I don't know. Sometimes I think back and I think, like, would I be at a different place in my life had I lost the weight a long time ago? And sometimes I think yes, but at the same time, I'm glad the roads I've traveled have gotten me to where they've gotten me, because overall, I love the people in my life and I enjoy the things I do. But I do wonder sometimes, I'm like, maybe I would have had more confidence to do this, which might have gotten me here. Maybe, like, if I didn't, because there have been times, like, you get insecure and I don't want to go out, but it's like, maybe had I gone out, I would have met someone different. And I don't mean, like, romantically, I just mean, like, it could lead to jobs, career changes, all sorts of things. So sometimes I think, like, would my life still be in the same spot if I had lost my weight earlier? I don't know. But overall, like, when she asked, like, if you're losing weight, why? it's because I'm not gonna lie, I'm deathly afraid of the fact that I've already shortened my life so much. And when you're depressed, or at least for me, when I was depressed, I don't know that I cared that I was shortening my life. But now that I'm older, and I've gotten therapy and my anxiety is down and I'm not suffering from depression, I think of all these things like, I want to get married, I want to buy my house, I want to, you know, like, I want to do this and this and this, and I'm thinking like, and when I get those things, I don't want to die because I am fat. So that's my major motivator, and that's why I'm deciding to lose weight, just because I want to be healthier, live longer, do all the things that I want to do. So let me know what you guys thought about this video. It had, I think, a pretty high thumbs down ratio versus thumbs up, but I don't know. Some people might agree with her, some people might not. Let me know, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.